What if your company had a crystal ball? And I'm not talking about for the stock market. I'm talking about for your people, your most valuable asset. Today, we're going to dig into how quantitative modeling is making that an actual reality.
I mean, just think about it. What if you could know who on your team is thinking about leaving, months before they even touch their resume? That's the kind of power we're talking about here. It's about using data to finally see around the corner and make truly smart decisions about your workforce.
And that's really the core idea here, right? It's about shifting from that constant reactive firefighting mode that so many HR departments are stuck in to proactively shaping the future of your organization. And the best part? It's all done by unlocking insights already hidden in the data you have.
So, let's be clear. This whole thing didn't just appear out of nowhere. It's not some crazy futuristic concept. The ability to actually predict workforce trends? Well, that's been evolving for decades, building on a solid foundation of both new tech and, just as importantly, new ways of thinking.
If you look back, our journey really starts with some early, pretty basic mathematical models, and let's be honest, a healthy dose of managerial gut instinct. But from there, we've come a long, long way to the sophisticated, data-driven forecasting that's possible today.
And this image here, well, it's basically the blueprint for how this all comes together. It really lays out the whole roadmap for us. You can see it's a journey, right? It's about taking all that raw, messy data and transforming it into something clear, something actionable that can actually guide big strategic decisions.
Okay, so where does this journey begin? Well, it all starts with a super crucial, but let's face it, often pretty unglamorous first step, just getting the data ready for analysis.
Just think about it for a second. Companies are sitting on a gold mine of data. Payroll, performance reviews, training records, you name it. But the problem is, it's a mess. It's scattered everywhere. It's inconsistent. It's chaotic. That's where SQL-driven data pipelines come in. They're like the digital plumbing that cleans it all up and brings order to that chaos.
So what do these pipelines actually do? Well, they automate all that heavy lifting. They go out and extract data from all those different systems. They transform it, which means cleaning it, validating it, getting rid of all the weird inconsistencies, and then they load it up, creating these perfect, analytics-ready data sets. The result? The information is consistent, reproducible, and ready for the real magic.
Okay, so now we have our pristine, organized data. This is where the fun really begins. We can finally power up the engine of this whole operation, the predictive models themselves.
And this is where we see a huge shift. We're moving away from traditional models like linear regression. Now, those are fine for stable, predictable situations, but today's business world is anything but. So we're moving toward machine learning models, things like random forests and XGBoost. Why? Because they can uncover these super complex, non-linear patterns that, honestly, a human analyst would almost certainly miss.
And it's not just about picking one single algorithm. What we're looking at here is a whole ecosystem of powerful models working together. You've got machine learning, you've got time series analysis. It's a continuous cycle, all validated by error metrics to make sure the predictions are solid. And they're all aiming to predict those key outcomes, like who might leave, who's ready for a promotion, or what skills you're going to need next year.
And hey, don't just take my word for it. The research on this is crystal clear. We're talking machine learning models like random forests and XGBoost consistently outperforming the old school statistical methods. It's because they can juggle way more variables and understand those really intricate relationships between them.
But here's the thing. You can have the most powerful, most accurate predictive model in the world, but if nobody can understand it, it's useless, right? So the next big question is, how do you take all this complex analysis and make it simple, intuitive, and actually usable for the people making the big decisions? And that's where visualization tools like Power BI come into play. They're the absolute final, and you could argue most critical link in this entire chain. They translate all those complex predictions into intuitive visual stories. They turn the numbers into something a leader can look at, understand, and act on, like right now.
And these dashboards aren't just pretty pictures for looking at what happened last quarter. No way! They are designed to drive action. This image shows the journey, see? It takes you from just communicating the data to actually driving a real-world decision and then, crucially, evaluating the impact of that decision on the business.
So think about what a leader gets to see. Instead of digging through some 100-page report, they can glance at a dashboard and instantly see things like turnover risk scores for each employee, or a heat map showing exactly where their biggest skill gaps are. They can see their promotion pipeline in real time. And they can slice and dice all of it, by department, by location, whatever, to make fast, informed decisions.
Okay, so this all sounds amazing in theory. The pipelines, the models, the cool dashboards, but it all comes down to one question, doesn't it? Does any of this actually make a difference in the real world?
Well, the answer is a resounding yes. A huge review of 82 different studies found that this isn't some niche theoretical thing. 74% of them were using machine learning models. Over half had implemented SQL-based pipelines. Nearly half were using these dashboard tools. This is happening, folks. It's out there, and it's a real game changer.
And the payoff is crystal clear. We're talking lower hiring costs, reduced turnover rates because you can actually intervene before someone decides to leave, and a much faster time to fill for those really critical roles. It's all about getting ahead of the curve.
Ultimately, what this does is it completely changes the role of HR. Predictive modeling isn't just another tool. It's a paradigm shift. It elevates HR from being a reactive, administrative function to being a truly strategic, forward-looking partner that's absolutely central to the company's success.
But, of course, with great power comes, well, you know the rest. This kind of technology brings up some really important ethical questions. We have to talk about fairness. How do we stop these models from just amplifying existing biases? We have to talk about transparency, governance, and compliance. We have to make sure these incredibly powerful tools are used responsibly.
And so that leaves us with this final thought-provoking question to chew on. As we get better and better at predicting people, how do we ensure we manage them with wisdom? The technology, after all, is just a tool. The real challenge is making sure we use all this incredible knowledge to lead people, not just with data, but with genuine wisdom.